All right, guys, welcome to Texas Gulf Surfer Season 2, Episode number 9.
Yes, sir, you are correct. Episode 9. Hello, everybody. My name is Jeff DiNicola, your Texas Surf Ambassador. I am so pumped and excited about this show and this guest. But before we get started, man, let me introduce my co-host. He is living proof that two guys can start a podcast with absolutely no parental supervision. Think about that for a minute. Give it up for Austin Campbell, King of Surfside, everybody.
Right on. Thanks, Jeff. Jeff.
We don't have any adult supervision here.
Never.
We do
never.
now because...
Well, we do. We got a great guest, Mercedes Maidana.
Yes.
Right, that's correct. And man, a lot of you might know her from surfing TGSA recently, but a lot of you all might not know that we got like a legendary big wave surfer in the house here.
You guys are going to learn a few things, which is going to be fun. Mercedes is in town here in Surfside at the Surf Station, which Austin hosted, TGSA event. And we're a little bit sunburned because we're out in the daggum sun all day. And she competes in the TGSA, but what she's really known for, world renowned, she is a big wave surfer. And let me tell you something, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Watch this whole episode. At the end, we're going to post some stuff of her surfing. It's terrifying what this lady has done. She's going to tell some cool stories and stuff, right?
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from,
give
and
us your
everything.
bio.
Okay. Hi. Thank you for having me here.
For sure.
It's
we're
a
so
pleasure.
excited.
I love your podcast. And
Thanks.
I love the Texas surfing community, so it's an honor. And a little bit about me. I'm from Argentina originally. I grew up in Buenos Aires. That is a huge city.
Wow.
Far from the ocean, so I
Right.
haven't been surfing. I just started surfing when I was 21 years old. It was a random trip I did to Brazil, and somebody lent me a surfboard. I'm like, oh my
Wow.
God, and changed my life. I got obsessed,
Wow.
like obsessed. And
So late bloom, right?
Late bloomer, yeah.
Most people are starting. A lot of people starting in their teens and early, especially to go to the level you did.
Yeah.
It's funny because in a little pre-interview we had on the beach, I asked Mercedes, I said, you're probably one of those kids like John Florence was pushed in at birth. She goes, no, I started surfing when I was 21. Tell us about it. That is too cool, man.
Yeah, so I started at 21, just in a random trip, and I started asking people to teach me. Nobody, I didn't know where to start. I was just like, can I borrow your board? How do I get to the lineup? I had no idea of anything. And that took me to really, I don't know, I just got obsessed. Like the way I felt in the water. At that time, I was going through a
Caught the bug.
depression, a breakup with somebody in my life.
Understood.
And the ocean healed me.
Just kind of. So where were you at in Brazil?
I started in Bucios, close to Rio de Janeiro, and then I just kept going all the way up north to Fernando de Noronha, the whole coast.
You started off on some good surf.
Not really. It was
Not really.
similar
It was
to here.
similar to here.
Yes.
Okay. And so, did you start off on a longboard?
No, I just
Short-
went straight to a little tiny 6.0 or something. And
Yeah.
I struggled for a whole year. I wish I knew
Yes,
a lot of
everybody.
things. Like now looking
Yeah.
back, like I taught my husband to surf.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with the right boards, and he's going so quickly in his evolution of surfing.
Yeah.
And I'm
that's
like,
great,
I
man.
spent years fighting with the shortboards. Yeah.
It's
Golly,
it's so
man.
much the longboard. I tell everybody. People come in here all the time, and they just want to ride a shortboard,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and I have to like really convince them, just ride a longboard until you think you're too good for it, and then get a shortboard, and that's the best thing. So you were in Brazil, you started
Yeah.
surfing, and then how'd you keep it going?
It's a long story, so I'm going to try to make it short. I was going to school, college at the time,
Okay.
and every time I would come back to Argentina, I really was going crazy. I need to go surfing. So I basically
Wow.
started to do like little trips whenever I could to Brazil, Costa Rica. When I graduated, I went to Costa Rica for 6 months.
Okay.
And then the seasons changed, and the waves were not good there anymore. And people were telling me, like, you gotta go to Australia. Okay, so I went to Australia.
Good for
Everything I
you,
did,
man.
like I was waitressing, or
So
I
you were like in. You were in.
I was with a
Yeah.
backpack, a
Yeah.
board, 1 or 2 boards, and I literally was working construction in Australia. Like, seriously.
Wow.
That's the surfer go for it spirit right
Like
there.
I leveled a whole yard with a shower.
And let me just back up one quick second. You said something that really interests me. That we all have life's ups and downs, and you'd hit a down,
Yeah.
and the water and the surfing that you gravitate to healed you in a way, and is what you kind of said.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. And I totally believe that, man, that the water, the ocean can heal whatever
There's a
you're
lot
going
of
through.
people who that's just their way of getting at getting away from everything and surfing and everything. So,
Yeah.
man,
So I know a few things, but I don't know a lot. So you're going to have to help us with this, man. The New York Times did a thing about you and a group of girls surfing huge waves in Oregon. And guys, let me say, at the end of this show, when you see what she's surfing, I'm just not going to say anymore, but the New York Times, and she did, and correct me, 3-time nominee for the Billabong top 3 women big wave surfer. So tell me a little bit about that, and tell me about that first contest, how that was organized in Oregon, and then please finish with it that Austin and I were like, oh my word, the injury.
I gotta connect the dots.
Well, the
Yeah.
injury, she had a terrible injury, so I'm just going to let you take the show and run with it. Come on.
so you
Yeah.
get there and you're like, when you decide to start surfing contests?
Actually, I was a free surfer, so I'm doing contests now in my 40s.
Right. So this was just all free surfing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, long story short, I was going to Indonesia, Australia, finding like my place in the world. I wanted to just stay somewhere where I could live and be a good surfer. And people kept telling me, like, you gotta go to Hawaii because you have something that you really like to get destroyed and you laugh about it. You know, like,
Right.
Like I would just come back for more. So they were like different people that I respected were like, go to the North Shore. I went to the North Shore. As soon as I arrived there, I was like 23 or something. It was one of the ADI cows that Bruce Irons won.
Right. Yeah.
And I just got there and I saw that with my eyes, like that barrel he got in the inside. I was right there. It blew my mind. It was like being in Disneyland of surfing.
For sure.
I couldn't believe where I was.
For sure.
And I was like, this is my home. And eventually I was able to stay there. I kept going back and forth from Argentina until I sorted out my residency and all. In
Understood.
ways.
Understood. Yeah, right.
And then I ended up moving to Sunset Beach. And that's where my life changed because I didn't plan. It was just being exposed to those waves. I lived in a house on the beach in Sunset Beach for 13 years.
Is that picture?
Yeah, that's
We'll be
Sunset.
showing you that. Wow.
And so the first few seasons in Hawaii, I was just kind of feeling it out, like nothing like weird, like just regular waves, like 6-foot waves, 8-foot waves.
Right.
And then I piled out to Sunset. I'm like, whoa! Like I feel this is my thing. I feel alive here. You know.
That's what I want to hear.
And then I spent 3 years in Hawaii when something clicked in me that I decided, you know what, I want to be a big wave surfer, but like a real big wave surfer. I want to surf like professionally.
The biggest, yeah, right.
Like, yeah. And I wanted to be sponsored by Patagonia. That was my dream. So I really did my whole like manifesting thing.
That
It took like 2-3 years, but then I got to that they sponsored me for 6 years and they paid for my trips to.
So you just got to free surf, and
Yeah.
they were just gonna. That's awesome. That's even better
For
than
6 years.
surfing contests, in my opinion.
No, that's what I didn't care about. First, all I wanted was to do big wave surfing. I didn't care about anything else. And I was obsessed. And the only contest I wanted to do was the XXL Awards. But it's not that we were competing. At that time, there were no contests for women to be all in one break competing. So it was, you got to submit your videos and pictures from the season.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
And they
Okay.
select from different women.
That's how you
Yeah.
got hooked up with the award,
The Billabong Awards.
Billabong
Yeah.
Awards. Okay.
So they would select different pictures on different breaks in the world. At that time, I was traveling already, so I would go to Chopo, Puerto Escondido, Chile.
And these are 3 different years,
Damn it.
right? 3
Yeah.
different years.
In
But-
different years.
Your big wave surfing sounds like it kind of started in Hawaii. Am I
Yes,
wrong?
yeah.
And when I'm trying to connect the dots, what I struggle with, and I asked
Yeah.
Morgan Faulkner the same thing about fear and factors and this and that and the other. But so you're like this surfer, and you don't have a ton of experience,
No.
and we're all surfers. We go to Hawaii, Costa Rica, wherever, and we go right. Oh, I can surf 6 foot. I can surf
Yeah.
8 foot. I can surf 10 foot, and that's about it. How do you decide? Oh no, I want to go 20,
Yeah.
30. There's pictures of you surfing 40+ foot waves. How do you get there?
Well, I did exactly like you said. I would put goals every season. So
Okay.
I want to surf 6 to 8 foot Hawaiian scale. So
Right,
just
right.
whatever
Which
is
is
double,
15.
kind of, yeah. And then when I'm mastering that level, very comfortable in that
Okay.
level, and I would put in what breaks. Like I want to surf like 8 foot sunset well, you know, and then I want to surf 10 foot sunset. That for me that sunset takes time. Sunset is not a wave, doesn't let you just show up
It
and surf
moves a
there.
lot of there. And
It's
sunset,
a whole
yeah.
lot of ocean.
Oh, yeah.
It's the open ocean. And also at that time, the men didn't let me surf there. They were very local. very chauvinistic. Like I have to deal
That's
with
Hawaii.
the
Welcome to Hawaii.
with the men of the old school.
Oh, yeah.
That then eventually they gave me my spot there.
Yeah.
Like, but it took me like years, like 6 years of being in the peak, getting the big sets, getting destroyed in the wipeouts,
gonna
and
ask you
going
that.
back out. For them to respect me and let me a spot there. Nowadays, like the women can show up and surf whatever they want.
Well, let's talk about a little bit about paying dues and getting caught inside and stuff like that, because you just don't go out and ride big waves unless you've paid some heavy penalties to
Okay,
get
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So, and I've watched videos. You're a super athlete. I watch some of your training videos and stuff. You're like a weightlifter and you do all kinds of stuff. So, what training do you do? Not that I know I would never want to be a big wave surfer, but what training goes into getting there?
Well, so part of when you asked me how did I deal with fear,
Yeah.
for me fear was exactly related to amount of training I had. It was I'm not a brave person. Yeah, I'm a prepared person. If I'm prepared, nowadays I'm a different person. Now I
Right,
get scared
right.
in 5 foot North Pack. I get scared. I have a lot of PTSD in my brain after all the things I went through.
Right.
So now I'm a different surfer. But at that time in my life, I used to train 5 hours every single day, no matter what. If I like it or not, if it was Christmas or not. And that was not surfing, that was just training. It wasn't like, that was high interval training mostly, long, like run, swim, run, like lifeguard training from Hawaii. They do like long distance.
Like a lot of cardio.
Lot of
mostly,
cardio,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
yeah.
And that training was so you could survive the big wave ordeal.
The hold down. So everything is for the hold down.
like I mean,
hold
you know,
down.
what's your just like an average, average, but like what's an average wipeout, on something like that? Like what's like how long do you have to hold your breath?
Well, I never know. Like
You don't know.
You
It's
don't know.
just different. because
Nobody like has
Let's say maybe it's only 15 seconds, but it's 15 seconds that you gotta imagine. It's like you have 10 guys
Beating
hitting
you.
you with a baseball
Oh
bat
my heavens!
at the same time, and maybe you're in a little car, like crashing, like doing cartwheels on your car. It's a wreck underwater. The violence that the water has.
So it might not be at the time of the
It's
of
the
the actual. It's
punishment.
more the punishment.
It's a punishment. It's
yeah.
MMA underwater.
So and then if you're in the inside section, that's when it becomes like, okay, the white water's coming again. I got to go down, up, down, up.
Oh, scared thinking
Yeah, you
about
gotta be. I mean, you gotta have your
quick breath.
Yeah,
Back
and also I used to prepare my lungs a lot, like even before I paddle into a wave, I would like prepare my lungs in case I wipe out, like already open and get a lot of air in my body, and then
You were well trained.
you have to have a lot of mental
Yeah,
training.
because you got a lot of
Very well
oxygen
trained.
already flowing through you, so that helps. That makes sense.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
it's,
a lot of my training also was in Sunset. Since I lived there, it's not that it's always good there. Sometimes it's a big
Sure.
washing machine, huge, like
Sure.
20-foot white waters. So I would just put my body surf fins, my Dakine fins, and just go body surf and just be in 10-foot sunset, like 20-foot faces, body surfing, feeling comfortable, getting pounded.
Oh.
And that would be the training. And if you can do that, then because you will lose your board, it will break. That happens.
Right.
Stuff
And you
happens,
cannot
surely.
like for me, it was always about. I'm very old school the way I did it. I'm glad that I did it in a time that it was like the limit. It was before the paddle vest that changed. So you have to rely.
right. Now the paddle vest
The
brings
paddle vest gives you different confidence. It's a extra confidence that maybe you're not ready to be in those waves, but you're gonna be saved with a inflatable vest.
Understood.
I had
Yeah.
some friend of mine, Jim Thompson. He
Yeah, big wave surf out of Hawaii.
Jim Thompson in a big wave surfer in Hawaii. And he was like, "Yeah, come visit me. I'll put you on a toe in that's safe." And I was like, I don't need to do a toe in. I'm good. Like, I'm okay. I passed that stage in my life, right? And he's like, "Well, you got a vest, and I'll get you on a good safe one." And I'm just like, I don't know, man. It sounds fun, but like, I mean, like, you've been in some big surf, right? Pretty
Not
big
like
surf.
her, but-
And like, I've been in some big surf, and we've been even in big surf here. Like, the biggest surf, me personally, I ever felt like I was in, was not as the tallest surf. Like, I was in Martinique. I don't know if you
No.
Martinique's off the coast of Venezuela, down by St. Lucia, and it catches like the African swells off
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing. And it was like, they were like, "Oh, it was 8 foot," and it was like 15 foot,
Heavy.
right? And it was thick
Yeah.
waves. But like, I surfed a giant hurricane swell out here that was
Way
literally,
taller.
literally like 15 foot. probably from the back, like huge.
Bigger than I want.
But that wave was just immensely more powerful.
Yeah.
It was the only place I heard about this. I never thought it ever happened to me. I had to pull my leash off because I felt my board hit the rocks, and I
wow.
got a little,
Oh my God.
But so,
Yeah.
so when you're in stuff
No,
like
bad
it's even-
happens in big wave
I got
surfing.
trapped in Sunset underneath a cave.
I was going to ask you if you ever had it to where your board got
yes.
hit in the rocks.
And I was like literally, I was dying. Like I couldn't reach my leash.
Oh no!
It was big. It was big sunset. I went on a 10-foot wave and I straightened out, and waiting for the beating. And I went down, and then when I'm ready to go up, I'm hitting something on my back.
Oh my
And,
word!
and I knew exactly. I'm in a cave. I was very prepared. The day before, I did an apnea training with a big weight guy from Ireland, and he was literally guiding me through the stages of drowning while we practice. So
Wow.
I
It's heavy,
like
man.
no, it was heavy. Like
It
it
is
was
heavy.
almost all the way till you pass out. Like how you feel it in your body, how it starts like breaking down.
so
and-
you know where you're at.
so I knew where I was, and I knew how much I had left still. Like I knew I had in my organs still oxygen.
Right.
And I knew I couldn't freak out, and the only
Yes.
goal was to get my leash off. But I couldn't reach the leash because there was so much white water that I couldn't. Like it didn't let me. It was so much rip and white water. I couldn't get my body close to my ankle, and there was no way. And eventually, it was white water the whole time. It was a two wave hold down. My board was tombstoning.
Oh,
and,
no.
Yeah, nobody saw it. It was so big. Sunset. I have a 8-3 pink board with purple in the white water tombstoning. Nobody saw
Nobody
it.
sees you.
Imagine how big it was. And then I knew I'm not gonna do one more wave underwater. I'm gonna drown. And I suddenly was like, I remember I had my Dakine. I'm just it seems like Dakine, you gotta pay me for this, but
Yeah, send her a check.
If you sell Dakine, guys, buy from us.
you got to get some
leashes.
decline leashes, yeah.
But I had my quick release leash.
Good,
that
good,
is
good.
for big waves. If you get like that stuck.
Yep.
And the thing is this: you cannot try it unless it's being pulled to the max. If you try it out in the store, it's not gonna pull.
Oh, it has to
It
be
has
being
to
pulled
be
for.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh, that's
Full
how
on.
that works.
So I didn't know if it was gonna work, and I went like it was life or death. Like it has to work, and it went. And,
Wow.
and that's when I was released, and then it's funny because I had blood all, everywhere because
The rock-
There,
the
yeah,
rock.
I had to move my leg to get it closer, and that was the least of
Crazy,
the
man.
problem. It was like blood everywhere, and the waves kept coming. A guy showed up like paddling. I'm like help, and
Wow.
once he came, I didn't
Unbelievable.
have my board left. My board was going to Camiland. And once he came, he put me on his board, and that's where I lost my mind because I knew in the cave I couldn't lose my mind. I was like,
Then you
like,
freaked out once you
Right,
got the
right,
surface.
right.
That's
yeah.
it, you
Wow,
die.
that's interesting.
And once he got me, I'm like, I was in a cave, and he slapped me like, shut up.
Oh my gosh.
We gotta get to the shore. I'm like,
Oh yeah, like you didn't have time to talk. He's on the
yeah,
jet ski.
Like, no,
No.
he
He
was
was on a
paddling.
surfboard.
Oh, he was.
I was paddling, and he was paddling me in his gun, and he was like, shut up, because I was freaking out. Well, anyway, that was one
Yeah,
of the.
yeah, he's on his
But
board.
that doesn't stop you because
No.
you go from that size wave to 30, 40,
Yeah.
50 feet. So something didn't scare you that bad that day.
No,
It challenged you apparently.
Yeah,
So
I
how do you get
stopped.
from that to Waimea
Yeah.
to all these different
was
many,
crazy.
many, many places that you surfed as we're going to show the pictures?
That's like
Was it a checklist thing? You had
Yeah.
to go surf?
yeah. You just the spot.
I literally
So
had
give us
a-
that
Sounds like you
checklist.
just got the bug.
I literally had a vision board with all the pictures, like
Yeah.
just Chopo
Good for
Waimea,
you.
sunset, and I put the size of each wave that I wanted, like 12-foot sunset, 20-foot Waimea, like 30-foot.
And
jaws.
I like what you said. Like you weren't like you were prepared, right? So you weren't
Yeah.
brave. You were prepared. But but you can't be brave. They say you can't be brave without fear, though, right?
I was always afraid.
So you got to be afraid. You can't.
I'm scared.
you
I'm
can't
queasy thinking about
Like you
it.
can't be brave if you're not afraid of it. Like right. So you have to be afraid of it to
I'm
go
not
do it.
courageous. Like
Yeah.
I cannot.
But you also wanted the challenge. So you play other sports?
Guys, I'm not courageous. Like how there's.
But do you play
I
other-
don't.
do you
I-
play
I-
other sports?
I'm scared of all the sports. Like I cannot jump from the jump
Really?
rock
Oh,
in
really?
Waimea Bay.
Yeah.
The kids
Wow.
jump from the jump rock to the ocean in the summer when it's flat.
Yeah, I know. I've
They'll
done that.
jump. I cannot jump, but I can go in
But
big
when you're
waves.
taking off on a 35+ foot wave, aren't you like way up there
Yeah.
looking way down there?
But it's like you want it so much. You want it with every cell of your body. Your body
I applaud that.
is like
So you just loved surfing so much. That you loved big wave surfing.
too much.
Yeah,
Too much.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody that just sit at
Just
that
so
level.
on the big wave
So the
surfing,
ride was worth all of the beat downs, all of the
Oh,
training,
yeah.
everything. There's
because
simple
this is-
answer.
See, big wave surfing is mostly beatings.
the drop. Well,
No,
Mostly
but, I mean,
beatings?
you're
Yes.
having a bad time most of the time when you're surfing big waves.
It's-
And then you have the hero moments with the picture,
yes. I mean,
but
that's
you don't know the
unbelievable.
so
amount of
it's like
suffering
it's
that's
like
been...
a struggle, and then you get the reward at the end, right?
Yes.
Like a real,
And that
really,
reward,
really is
There's nothing. I
because
never
there's not a lot of
experienced-
people doing it. So the part about the big wave, like, is it? I remember when I first started getting what I think when I was kind of getting good at surfing, the only thing I cared about was the first drop.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some people want to hit the lip 25 times.
Yes.
Like, all I cared about was the first drop. And I lived here, so whatever. But I wanted to surf all the hurricane surf I could because I just wanted the biggest, longest drop. Is that what it was?
For
Is
me,
that,
yes.
Is that drop?
For me, some people are obsessed with barrels. Like, I wasn't obsessed like that.
It's the
I'm not
drop.
a tube rider.
I think that's what
For-
Laird said one time about
me,
the
it's-
drop.
yeah.
He likes the drop. Huh?
For me, it's like I clicked with Waimea, like that. We clicked, like, and it's,
Where's that wave?
That one is in Chile, El Buey.
Shoot.
So
wait,
that
till y'all,
was-
wait till y'all see that one.
That was the first women that surfed that wave. So that was one that has.
Wow, that is epic.
But
And-
yeah, it's the drop. That drop is like you're stuck in, like time disappears, and you're levitating and you're flying.
It's like a free fall.
It's free falling and
Yeah.
everything is green. Everything you can see is green everywhere.
Because you lose perceptive.
Like
of
you
how,
see that
where you're
wall
at.
and everything's green, and then you feel like the sound of a bomb right behind you. And sometimes you look back and it's like, oh, don't look back.
Don't look back, man. That's crazy. So, you told me a little bit. Did you have obviously you survived a 2 or 3 wave hold down at where was it? It scared me when you were telling me the story.
In Jaws.
Jaws.
So it wasn't two
What?
wave. Basically, I mean, I popped out to breathe in between each wave. So if it were
But is
having-
that just the most frightening place on the planet? That's what
Yeah,
I've heard.
At least for me, it was like a horror movie manifested in reality.
So that place is like giant and not like perfect. It's just giant and
Yeah.
like not sloppy, but kind of giant and just
So
rough.
all I can tell you what happened to me. I mean, because I've been there only like 3-4 times to
Okay.
Jaws, and I towed it a few times, but this time I went paddling with my Waimea gun, and it was a weird story. It's a weird, I don't know, it's a long story. But I just went to look at
Oh,
and
just
you
went
decided,
to look.
and you decided to go.
You ain't
Yeah.
that kind of gal to just
Yeah.
go
Oh,
look.
My friends were going to Jaws. It was like 45 foot,
What?
50 foot. Like it was massive black diamond Jaws.
Oh.
And they knock on my door asking me for board covers so to go to Maui. And I'm giving them all my gear. And they were doing a documentary of women big wave surfers. And suddenly the girls are going,
Wow,
and they're
man.
like, "Why don't you go?" I was married at the time. This led me to a divorce at the time, literally. Because
Big
he
waves.
was no, seriously. He was like, "Don't go. Like it's too much. Like this is not. This
And
is
you're
for
like,
my
"I'm going."
healing, not for you." You know. I'm like, "No, I just want to go look from the channel. Like, but I'm going with my gun, with my paddle vest.
Just
I'm
in
gonna go
case.
look, just to look.
Just to
So
look, yeah.
It was an ordeal just to paddle out because I paddle out. You gotta go down the cliff with a
Right,
10-foot
yeah.
board, 10-6 board, grabbing ropes in the mud to go down the cliff. Then you gotta pass a shore break that is like the Waimea shore break, but on boulders. And you gotta time it right, or you go to the zone of death.
Oh,
literally.
no.
No, it was all crazy. And as soon as I made it out, like nobody was there with me to paddle out with me. Everybody already was in the water, and I could see the mountains like 50 foot, perfect, glassy, perfect. And my soul was like, I need to be there. I need to go. I need to go. So I finally make it through a short break. I make it to kind of the lineup. By the time I'm making it, like a swinging wave, like
Swing wide, huh?
Yeah, swung wide, and it took a boat with tourists down. All the tourists are in the water.
Oh, man,
There's like 3 jet skis rescuing normal people, like like people
That's
that.
crazy,
No, it was
man.
chaos. Like people like, my boyfriend disappeared. It was chaos.
Crazy.
So that was spooky. And then I go in the lineup, and I stayed more in the inside, kind of wide in the shoulder, the west peak. And there was Albi Layer and Kaileni at the time that they used to surf
Big
that.
dogs.
Yeah, and that Albi still surfs like that West Peak that is the barrel.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I knew what they did, so I'm like, I'm gonna stick to the guys, like, because it's like a sunset wave, but big. But it has the same shape. So I'm like, I'm gonna try here, kind of thing. And then a friend of mine shows up from Waimea. He shows up, and he's like, hey, watch out, Mercedes. Like, there's some 50-foot sets out the back. What? Don't be here on the inside. Like, watch out, you know. But the inside is like only 30 foot, you know. It's like baby wave.
The little waves of 30 feet. Go
And
ahead.
then suddenly a wave literally swung, it came at me, and I didn't even think about it. I was going. I really didn't
Good
think
for
about
you.
it.
That's
Suddenly I'm grabbing rail, and I'm paddling into jazz. I'm thinking that.
Man, paddling in, man.
Well, that was the hero moment, and then everything went really bad.
followed up by bad experience.
Horrendous. So I have the video. I send it to you.
Yes, we're going to put that up there. It's
So basically,
terrifying,
I
I'm
was
telling you.
way deep. That's why the guys didn't go, like those Albi and Kai didn't go, because it was not makeup. It was way, way, way too deep. It was like 100 meters, I don't know if feet, but of just like closing barrel.
And
And I'm there in the middle.
yeah.
So then I straighten up, out, like waiting for the beating, like the usual, like just karate position, like, you know. And I get the beating, like it closes right behind me.
No.
I had my PAL vest at that time. I am alive because of the vest. Sounds horrible to say it, because you should
Yeah.
not be in situations that you can rely on a vest, you know.
Yeah. That's.
But
I mean,
anyway.
Yeah, I get
technology helps us. You know.
So I got a horrible beat. It was like violent,
my
even with the
gosh.
vest. Like it was a beating. And then when I pop out, I see 2 jet skis are coming to try to get me out of the impact zone. Everything is white water. It's like 2 football fields of white water. And still I don't see anything, any other sets. It's all white water. And the guys come, and I don't know them, they don't know me, but they're trying to get me.
Sure.
I try to get on the sled, my board is broken. And
Oh,
when I'm
gosh.
about to get on the sled, they leave. You know, one of the guys leave. Then the other one leaves. Why? Because the bigger wave is coming. There's no time.
Now your board's broken. You're stuck on the
I'm
inside.
floating in the middle of the impact zone,
Oh,
and there comes the real set. Like they told me it was 45,
Here
50.
comes the real.
The real
here comes
set.
The real
Yeah,
set.
so I get one on the head, like gnarly. Like I literally was like, don't look.
Don't.
Like, you cannot look.
Down.
Stop.
Yeah, like I start doing my breathing, like you start preparing, you know, like you
I'm doing it
release,
now, just trying to save you.
but trying not to look because and holding from my vest, because also the waves take everything out of you. They take your wetsuit off, they take your vest, they
Right.
take
Sure.
I
everything.
can just imagine the power
and,
there. Yeah.
And if you want to hold, because your limbs get like separated.
Right. You're trying to stay. Yeah.
But no matter how much you hold, you cannot hold.
Right.
It's gonna let everything goes anywhere. So well, anyway, I get one on the head. Then the guys try to come again, and and they cannot get me.
Oh,
I get the
no.
second one on the head, but they're waterfalls, like little waterfall, and I'm on the impact zone like a joke. It was like, this is not.
You
Really.
can't believe it's happening as it's happening.
I cannot believe it. It's like a horror movie, like the guy with the chainsaw, and he's literally gonna.
And you're
take
at
your limbs.
Jaws, the place that.
Yeah.
You know.
So then, let me think. It was 2 that I got on the head. I think it was the third that I never know if it was third or the fourth, because it was like
Oh my gosh.
the guy comes on the jet ski, and I finally jump on the sled, and I go. Go! I'm on the sled. Go, go, go! Like there's the next one, and this one is breaking more behind, bigger wave.
Oh.
It's already breaking. And I go, go!
it.
I'm on the sled. And he turns around and he looks at me and he says, it's not working. The ski is not working.
Oh man.
Everything went bad.
And we're both on the ski, and we get destroyed on the ski, we get destroyed with the wave. So now we're going on, I'm grabbing the sled for my life, getting mowed by a 45-foot wave. And it was literally like a car crash. Like you could hear metal everywhere.
Oh
And
my
we're going,
gosh.
no, that was death. And we're going towards the cliff, like full speed towards the cliff. And in a moment, I'm thinking, I don't want to let go because I don't want to drown. I don't want that. This is holding me.
At least it's flotation.
And I have my vest that is like a yoga ball, but it does nothing. You're like a toothpick.
Right. It's so much strength. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's all the white water is so much. It's like you can have the vest, and it's from here to the roof, and it's still white water. You're breathing bubbles. the whole time.
And where's the driver of the jet ski? He's still
The-
with you?
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know. In one moment, I let go because I realized I'm gonna hit with this ski. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna hit my head.
Car
with,
crash, yeah.
So I let go, and eventually I came out. If not, I would be dead. And then he shows up again, and he said he connected the lanyard. It was the lanyard
The
that
lanyard, yeah.
disconnected from his wrist, and he put it underwater back. And he's a black diamond. Like he rescues
Many
Right,
people,
right.
these
sure,
guys.
sure.
He's of the team
Yeah.
that they hired him for rescue.
Right.
Well, he saved my life. I mean.
Amen.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was crazy. And what happened to me, this is where things get bad. I don't know if we can curse in this podcast. or
Oh,
not.
yeah, you know. We
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna
Hell no,
but
damn
it
it.
was more like the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
The problem was this. When I came out of this situation, I was high on adrenaline.
Yeah, your
and it's-
dopamine, everything
dopamine.
was fired up.
And instead of being like, oh my God, I almost died, I was like, oh fuck, I'm
I
not
got-
afraid of death.
Wow, you conquered your fear that you
Nothing worse will ever happen.
You're right. The worst you just experienced
No.
couldn't get worse.
No.
And so then you just.
So then I tell this guy, like, I want to hire you so I can come back to next time. I want you to be my safety so I can go bigger.
You're
next
one of the
time.
most courageous people I know. I'd have
That was
quit.
crazy.
I'd have quit surfing.
So you surfed all those big waves and all those years, and you did a bunch of all that stuff, and then so you end up in Texas, right? And
Yeah.
now you're surfing
TGSA.
in some TGSA contests. We just had the contest
Anyway.
today, right,
Yeah.
on these small waves, and I remember this because you're good friends with Sir Chet,
Search
I
out
love
a
it.
royal knight.
a royal knight of
Shout
Surfside.
out to Chet.
Yeah, we love
love
Chet.
Chet, man.
So that's how we met, right? And I remember this. I'm pretty sure it was the first time we met. We were surfing, and we were out there, and I remember you saying, "How do you catch these little waves?"
I still wonder.
and I remember because I was out there, and I was like, "Well, get a longboard, get a real longboard."
Right.
But anyways, you were
Right.
like, "How do you catch these little waves?" And I mean, I feel like I'm not like the best surfer in the world, but I catch a lot of waves and everything. But I remember saying, I was like, you got to paddle your freaking ass off, and you got to want it really bad, and then you got to paddle harder than that and keep. And then, but I'm thinking you're used to like one paddle.
No.
You know, well,
when you paddle into big waves, you got a turbo paddle.
So you
gotta paddle like a
Turbo
mother
paddle.
father.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
because you're paddling into them, right? But if
Yeah.
you're pulled, I guess if you're
No,
towing, it's different.
I never been in. I towed a few times.
But you're always paddling.
I'm
in.
old school.
So-
I like to paddle.
So you're paddling.
That's cool,
You got to
man.
get enough speed paddling.
Yeah.
To this, but then
You
something.
gotta paddle so much.
But then
You-
something pushes you all of a sudden,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Here,
but you gotta match the speed with your arms.
that's the problem.
and you gotta
Otherwise,
paddle,
it goes right.
you
It
gotta
goes.
paddle
Interesting.
It goes right by you.
Like literally,
or
you gotta
just takes
paddle, you paddle with your forehead, with everything you have. You
And
paddle.
so,
bet you do.
like here, it's like you got to paddle, but it's different because all of a sudden something doesn't take you. It's like
Yeah.
you got to keep paddling
Yeah.
5 more times or something,
yeah,
right? You
I'm
know?
still learning. I'm an amateur and a beginner in these waves,
Yeah, it's-
and I love it because it's my new challenge.
New for you.
It's,
This
we-
is my
it is
challenge.
weird because I've seen people from all over the place. I've seen really, really good
Yeah.
surfers that are like airs
Struggle
and everything,
here.
and they come here and they're like, and then that's
We
what
suck.
that's what impresses me
We suck.
about
Struggle.
like you got like people like Gabe and those guys that they just make these little waves.
They're
'Cause,
amazing.
Like when I was in Costa Rica just the other day, I mean. Like I felt like I was a pretty good surfer.
yeah.
I even heard this one guy go, "He's pretty good," you know. But
That's
here,
funny,
but
man.
here, like I'm okay, I'm good, you know. But I'm not like those guys on a shortboard, right?
They are
It's
amazing.
something they just make these little waves,
Yeah.
you know.
Today I
Yeah.
was watching the final of Gabe and Shane.
Yeah.
I just
Super
went to
good
look
surfers.
at them to see what they do. I told
Yeah.
Leo, my husband, because I do so bad every time in the contest, and like and he's like, go look at these guys, see what they do.
I think
See
you're
how-
tough on yourself.
and I don't know
I've
what-
seen you compete. You're
Oh,
doing
no,
good.
You're good surfer,
Thanks.
but I don't know what it is
But
funny
he's like,
because
see how they generate speed. You gotta look
They're
how
just-
they're hopping, like
they're just pumping.
He's like, you
pumping.
gotta work on your pump. You don't pump.
And I
The
think
pumping.
like for me, that's not like I want a real long wave down the line. That's why I ride a longboard now, right? Because I just want to I want as much long cutbacks versus some people like to go.
Well, I like nice and long lines.
Smooth, yeah.
Right.
And powerful.
Me too.
Like I like a power surfing. Like
Me too.
Yes.
I'm not an air. I don't like for me
Not an
visually.
aerialist?
I like
Yeah.
surfing that's on the
Oh,
wave,
yeah.
not in the air. I mean,
And
I love
I'm
airs.
fine. I like
airs
seeing
are
that.
cool.
Yeah.
airs are cool. But for me, I like that real power surfing
Yeah.
on the
For
wave.
me, it's like my guys. I grew up when I was in my 20s watching, and I learned. For me, was Oki, Sunny,
Yeah.
Pancho Sullivan,
Yeah.
Miles Padaka.
See, I like Owen.
Power surfing,
I love
you
Owen.
know?
Power surfing.
Owen,
I like that too.
Owen
those lines.
Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, Owen Wilson. Man, he's
Yeah, I want to address a couple things, and it's only because you were so open about talking about it before the show that we're so glad she's here in Texas with us now. But there's events in your life that brought you to
Yeah.
Texas, and I'm going to let you tell people about it. And it's important because you guys got to understand the real life danger with big wave surfing. And she had a devastating injury. I'm not going to let her tell you about it, but it brought you kind of here from that life-changing injury. And you seem real open about it, so I have no
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
asking. Tell us about
I
that
talk-
journey.
So it started in Jaws when I became crazy, saying, now I'm going to do whatever I want. So 9 days later, there was a big wave contest from the WSL Big
Okay.
Wave World Tour. They did one in Scott Reef. It's an outer reef in Oregon. And I competed there the first time with the women.
Okay.
And it's a fat wave. It's not top to bottom. It's not Mavericks. It's big and tall,
Yeah.
but it's fat.
right.
So I was like, after this, like, I'm going to go and win. And I'm going to go, like, it's going to be only 25 foot. Like, it's a walk in the park, after what I
Right.
just been through.
Right.
So I went, like, with my ego there. Like, it's funny.
Is that picture?
And yeah, so this is the photo this is the first wave I got in that day. And actually, that was not a fat wave. That was top to bottom.
That looks pretty non-fat
Yeah.
to me. It looks terrifying.
It looked
Can't
like
wait for you guys
Maverick.
to see this at the end. But go
That-
ahead.
It's like a Mavericks wave there. I was in the middle there. Those are my two hero girls, like Paige Adams and Andrea Moller. They're like the best in the world.
Nice,
man.
yeah.
Super.
And I'm in the middle there. And so when I got that wave, I'm like, oh my God, this is stronger than I thought. This is not what I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was scary, actually. The beating was scary underwater. So then I didn't, and you cannot position well, like we're in the middle of the ocean, so there's no landmarks. Like, what the hell is this? So,
Oh, yeah.
so I go a little bit more outside. I'm like, I don't want to be caught inside. I'm going to wait for a set outside. And when I'm going outside, then a big set came that was much bigger than that. It was 35 foot on the face. And
35 foot on the face.
and when I see the wave, I went into PTSD mode without knowing from Joss that I got PTSD, because I actually got diagnosed later by a psychiatrist. He told me the Joss episode gave you literally
I
PTSD.
can fully see that.
So when this wave came, the 35-foot wave came, in my mind, I was gonna get caught inside. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I
So you
cannot
kinda
be.
froze.
So I literally froze, but I did everything bad you can do, everything.
Oh,
Now I
my
can tell
word.
it. I was so embarrassed. I didn't tell it for 10 years because of the big wave guys. Like, it's the worst thing you could do, what I did. I'm going to say it so nobody does it, hopefully. What I did was, many things. I froze. I was parallel with the wave instead of like trying to penetrate
Right,
the wave.
right.
And because I didn't want to be underwater, this is the bad part.
Oh,
I
no.
inflated my vest. Because one of my friends, Jamie Sterling, he's one of the champs
Oh,
there.
yeah.
He told me when we were going in the airport, he said, hey, watch out with these, I don't want to say Patagonia, but these chunky gloves you're wearing, 5 millimeters. He told me because last time Mark Healy was in Mavericks with these gloves, he couldn't find the pull of the vest.
Oh.
So when I'm in the ocean, I'm thinking, I'm not going to be able to open the vest. So I open it before the wave breaks.
Oh,
Worst
no.
thing ever. So I'm
Oh,
already a
no.
yoga ball. I'm already like one yoga ball. So when
now
the
you're
wave,
just- yeah.
I just go over the falls when the wave comes, and I go with the lip of the wave, 35 foot, and that lip brings my 10-foot gun in my head.
God bless you.
And that's when I
God
got a
bless
brain
you.
injury. In the moment I didn't black out, I remember I thought you can't black out. Like if you black out, you're gone. You can't afford to black out. There's no blacking out. And I was bleeding, so the whole thing was the jet skis. It was a contest. It was live on TV. My family was watching.
Oh,
I'm like,
dear
I'm
Lord.
fine, I'm fine. I was messed up.
Yeah.
They take me to the shore, and it's more like thinking, people are thinking, oh, she has a cut. Nobody's thinking like she got her brain destroyed.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what year was that?
2014.
So that was a little bit before even people were thinking about brain injuries in
Yes.
football.
Oh my God.
You
yeah.
know, like people weren't starting to like diagnose the
So
CTE and all that
you,
stuff.
you get to the beach, or you're in bad shape?
Yeah, I remember when I made it to the shore, there was one of the Mavericks guy there alone, and he comes to give me his T-shirt because I'm bleeding.
Sure.
And I go like, are there any cameras? He's like, no. Okay, and I start crying. And also that's part of the big waves thing. You
Yeah.
cannot cry.
Right,
And
yeah, yeah.
being a woman also, that's part of my sunset years that I went through a whole lot of things. I never cried because then they don't let you ever go back. You know,
You got to
So I had that
be
in-
even tougher.
Yeah, very tough.
Yeah.
But then I would cry. at
Thank
home,
you for being
know.
so brave and talking about this. So now you got a head injury. What do you do next?
Well, basically, it just got worse with the months. It wasn't linear. It was just I started feeling debilitated, and like 2 weeks later, after the injury, I could barely speak. Like my
Oh,
tongue
no.
was heavy. It was I couldn't walk more than 1 block. I couldn't walk my dog. I would be like, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna faint.
So then you knew something was wrong.
Yes,
Yeah.
everything just my cognition decayed. I couldn't write text. I couldn't reply
Wow.
to text. I
You're
was
freaking out now, aren't you?
yeah, but I didn't want to. Like, I kept surfing big waves like that
Oh, God,
for
you're
2 more
insane,
years.
lady.
Like, it was bad, and that's why. I mean, I was addicted. And it's not fun to
Right.
say like.
I get
Well,
it.
no, I mean it's. I mean, especially when you're chasing, like there's a difference between like the guys who like surf all the time, like Johnny McGee, right? And like whatever, like people really like to surf
Yeah.
all the time, and they're addicted to surfing.
Yeah.
And then there's addicted to like a big wave surfing, and like you're chasing
Yeah.
something. Like you're always chasing something.
All the time.
There.
My whole life, my whole identity for 7 years.
I mean, I
was-
heard Laird Hamilton say that he was chasing the dragon before.
Whatever
I
that
heard
is,
like he
whatever
was
that
saying he's like I caught this one wave and I was always chasing the dragon. Like I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
That you're always looking
And
for
for
that.
me, I'm gonna be honest, and this is more psychology, but for me, it's all childhood trauma. And I mean, I go there, but even most of the people I know in big wave surfing, because I know them, nobody comes from a loving family.
Yes,
where
that
you
does
were
not
cared
surprise
for,
me.
You're
with
willing to like
there's always
take
like
risks.
the abandonment or the alcoholism or like the no
Interesting.
father figure. Like you gotta prove something to somebody that they gotta.
Very
They
interesting.
really have to
Yeah.
approve you. Somebody has to approve you.
So,
you know?
so that's where you ended up in Houston, and how you ended up
Well,
in
yeah.
Yeah.
So after 2 years, I kept surfing Sunset. I kept surfing Waimea at 30% of my energy. And every time I would have a wipeout or even like duck diving, whatever, like my brain was getting worse. And one time I was surfing Sunset and I came in like dragging myself. I could barely walk into the sand because my brain was so bad. I felt like I have a knife here. I couldn't see. I couldn't, like, I was messed up. Like
God
they
bless
told me
you,
I was
man.
about to have a stroke. So basically, I had to leave Hawaii. Like somebody told me, "You're gonna die. You gotta leave."
Yeah.
And a doctor told me, "You're gonna have a stroke. You gotta remove yourself from here because you cannot just be here. It seems that you cannot.
Because you're not going to stop surfing
You
big
just
waves.
don't stop. You don't."
You're right.
So somebody offered me a job in Austin, and I went kicking and crying. It was the most horrific thing for me, and because also it was landlocked. I mean, it was horrible. I went through, and I spent 6 years doing medical treatments in Austin, not surfing.
Right.
Wow.
And just doing treatments to get better. And there is where I discovered Surfside. That makes me cry that nowadays to be here.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
cool story, too.
And that was my beloved place to go to Surfside and get back in the ocean. You
Amen,
know, and
amen.
know everybody here.
Yeah, I mean, there's it's Surfside. It's like one of those places. Like we met. When I was in Costa Rica. I met a guy that was like 70 something. He was like, "Oh, I learned to surf in Surfside." He was from California or something,
That's
And
funny.
he was like, "Oh, I learned to surf in Surfside. I went to Westbury High School," and I was like, "That's where my mom went." I was like, "Man, that's crazy." So Surfside's got to play. So
Yeah.
you were in the contest today. How'd you do in the contest?
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. You don't want to talk
You
about
cer-
it.
no, you cer- you
it's
certainly
fine.
could have done
What
worse than
place did you
me.
get? What place did you get?
Second.
Second place. Oh, you
There
did
you
good.
go.
You did good.
Um,
So it was good. We had a good day in
It
Surfside.
was beautiful.
You
The
were
weather, the waves, people were
Fighting
ripping.
together. Like those waves are hard.
They
They're so
are hard. Let me tell you, I
It's-
surfed terrible.
it is tough. So we had a good group
It was a
here.
grind.
Everybody came and did the awards afterwards.
That was
Super
really
nice.
cool. That was fun, man.
We had all the Groms running around and stuff like that. So it was definitely a good day. It was a one-day contest.
I love the contest. So basically, I never done contests before. I only did the XXL Awards, and then I did twice on the Big Wave World Tour with
Yeah.
the women, and then I never did regular contests. So I started last year, and I don't know, something in me was, I always want to
You're
challenge.
such a great energy. Everybody loves you there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
so
it's
great,
fun, man.
man.
And they do, I mean, like I said,
I love
it's
it. I love it.
everybody. A lot
Do
of
you live
people
in
can't
Corpus
believe-
Christi now?
I live in Corpus,
How do you?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
We were living in Austin. I met my
Okay.
husband in Austin, and
Cool.
he brought me to Corpus once on a trip, and it was a good day in Bob Hall.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is an actual good wave.
Yeah, they
can
got a
be,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
100%.
we have to move here, and we made it happen, and we created a
Good.
business in Corpus.
Good for y'all,
Nice.
man.
And
Nice.
now, yeah, and thank God my husband surfs. He's obsessed with surf more than me.
Good.
Because
He's got the fresh bug.
Yeah.
You know, he's like,
If it's
man.
up to me, I never want to surf because I always go like, oh, it's bad. And he's like, you have
Welcome
to
to
go.
Texas.
I'm like a wave. I'm getting shirts made. It's gonna say wave snob.
Yeah,
That's,
welcome
I'm
to
like
Texas.
a wave snob. Yeah, I haven't surfed since I've been back from Costa Rica. It's been
Yeah.
like almost over a
And my
month.
husband is like, go, because then when you go, you end up having fun. Like,
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's true. It is true. It is true. Well, man, we had a great time here in Surfside with the contest today.
Epic, epic
you know,
time, man.
we planned on, you know, we promised him contest. He came out for the contest. We promised him, but we ran out of time. Can you,
Yeah.
Can you apologize to Matt McConaughey for running out of time?
I'm so sorry, Matthew.
We ran out of time again. You know,
Hey.
Mercedes trumped you again.
We're going to have you back on the show again. Thank you so very much for
Thank
coming
you for
on.
having
This
me.
is
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a
You know,
pleasure,
you're
man.
here in Surfside a lot, so we'll have you on again.
We have
Thank
so
you.
many layers
Have
to
so many stories to tell.
You got
yeah.
no. You got to come back again and do the show because you got so many more layers we want to hear from. She is a courageous woman. Let me tell you, her big wave antics are just legendary. And when you see Austin that post these pictures, get ready, sit down, man. This is legit surf, man.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna put him on the
Terrifying
end
looking
and,
stuff.
We'll see what.
you.
See what
Thank you
got.
so much.
Oh, thank you for
Peace
having
out,
me.
guys.
Bye.